AKA Geeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to AKA Geeks trailer review. This is the second trailer for Captain America Civil War. We're going to give you our honest reactions and what we liked, disliked, and just where we hope this movie is going to go from here on out. With me, I have the wonderful, the intelligent Brendan and Lynn. Say what's up, guys.
How you doing? Wow.
Where we going on our date? That was nice. I like that.
Wow. It's like,
I don't know, what can we do, just $1 sign or two?
No.
No? Okay, we'll just...
I'm high class. I need a $5.
$3 signs on Yelp. Alright, so, as you guys know, Captain America, the Civil War trailer, the second trailer came out yesterday, and for me, myself, I actually did not know it was coming out till yesterday morning when I was walking in at work. And so when I heard about it, I'm already jacked for this film. I didn't know if I wanted to see it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm probably going to still watch it. I'm like, even though I'm already ready and I don't want to see too much, I was like, I'm going to watch it. So watching this trailer, I had a freaking mind orgasm, a mindgasm. It blew my mind. I was blown away by some of the things in it. I just honestly felt awesome. But I want to go to you guys first. Let's see, Lynn or Brendan, what were you guys' honest first reactions to it? And if anything caught your eye, like, just out of the blue? And there's one thing I think we should leave to last if it did catch your eye. But let's go with Lynn. Let us know how you feel, buddy.
Let Brendan go first.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Brendan, you do it.
Well, I know which part you're talking about. It's only like 3 seconds worth to talk about, so we'll save it to the end.
Yeah.
The first thing that got me, I guess, was it blows my mind how they can get away with having so many characters in one movie.
And have it work?
And it works, because you look at the last Spider-Man's, too much crap in it. Batman and Robin, and it was a bad movie, had too much shit in it. It's just all these superhero movies, they shove too much stuff into it. And
Batman versus Superman.
I will not judge on that yet.
Judgment has to be held on that so far.
I will wait to reserve judgment till I see it, but
yeah,
it still blows my mind that Whedon can take all that stuff, which in all reality should not work. It should just, you'd think it would just stay in the comics, that you couldn't translate that to movies. I did like that.
Right.
My trepidation is that they are going to do the token appearances by characters and not give them backstories or flesh out relationships, and it just seems like it should be longer than 2.5 hours if you're going to do something like Civil War. But...
Well, I understand where he's going with that.
Yeah, but I liked what I saw. It got me more interested in the movie.
It's one of those things, like what you're mentioning, is when you hear about something like, let's say X-Men 3, X3, you hear that it's supposed to be the Phoenix Saga, you're like, why the hell is this only one film? You know? And it's something like that, you're like, the story is more complex than that.
Grandiose, actually.
Yeah, they took 3 things in X3 and shoved it into one movie, and you're like, now she's murdering Rampage? Like, okay,
yeah.
The comics you know, but as a moviegoer, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, and something like that, I wanted that. It was supposed to be, when Bryan Singer was talking about that, it's supposed to be 2 films. And so, like, something like that, you're afraid of that happening again, I think, right? That's something that's definitely scary for this type of movie, this big film.
Because you're also looking at, they have to start switching to the metaphysical, the aspect of, magic and Doctor Strange and supernatural stuff. And the tone that are in these movies are decidedly not that aspect, and I'm afraid that they're going to try to, like, either they're going to shoehorn it in, or they're going to be like, okay, and now it's metaphysical. And they're...
Well,
What?
I'm going to explain what I felt, and then I can get into that part. Because I feel like we're branching to, like, 5 different areas. But, like, when I saw the trailer, I freaking squealed, and the first thing I said, see, Sony? This is how you do Spider-Man. And, yeah, I'll touch on that later on him, but at the same time, it's why I quickly posted, this is how you stick to the core material of the books and bring it to life on, the silver screen. this whole trailer emphasized that for me. Because I saw, and mind you, yes, there's going to be slight changes, like the prison.
Yeah.
It's not, the prison actually is
called
in...
the Raft. This one that they show in the trailer is called the Raft.
But the Raft is from the comics, but where it takes place is a completely different area, because in the comics it takes place in another world.
Okay.
You know? And here it's based in the middle of the ocean, hence why it was floating up. So, and I like the interaction between certain aspects, like with Vision and Scarlet Witch, how she's defending whoever was on the ground next to her.
A lot of people are saying it's Hawkeye.
Yeah, a lot of people are. But if it is, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, it could be anybody.
Yeah.
It could be It could be Winter Soldier for all we know.
What's really interesting about that point is that in the comics, the relationship between Scarlet Witch and Vision, and
well, we got to go back to the old comics for that. Then how they were actually together.
Yeah, I just think it's totally
right
cool.
Now, in the comics.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're married in the comics right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when in the original, before all the how the comics are now with all these different worlds and what have you, in the original incarnation of Scarlet Witch and the Vision, when they were both members of the West Coast Avengers, they were married with 2 kids, and you got to understand that the Vision's thought patterns and emotions and all that were based on another former Avenger, the Wonder Man, who was believed to be dead. So how he felt for Wanda is what the Vision picked up on. So, how they play it out now, I have no idea, because it's been a while since I read about.
It'll be interesting to see if they actually try to pursue that relationship with the two of them, especially
considering they're on opposing sides.
And they haven't really shown her hex powers. They haven't even called them hex powers in.
Well, they can't.
Yeah, in the movies, they haven't called them that. So they haven't even. Maybe she hasn't gone to the deeper ends of her powers, but she's supposed to be able to alter reality.
Well, she still can do that, but the thing is, keep in mind, she's not a mutant according to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But
yeah, she's enhanced.
But they could still have that in there, but they haven't mentioned that, so we don't know what's going to happen with her powers that way. We don't know if it's still purely telekinetic. I mean, not telekinetic, or what, or if, like they said in Avengers: Age of Ultron, she's weird. But I definitely would like to see how they're going to pursue that relationship between the two of them, especially how they're going to respond to each other after the fight.
I like how her character overall looks a little bit like classic Wanda with the long hair, but at the same time, she also has that gothy look from the Wolverine and the X-Men cartoon series. So there's a little bit of mixture of different sides of her, how she's been portrayed previously, to make this amalgamation of what she is now that we're seeing on screen, which is pretty good. But I gotta say, Black Panther looked totally kick-ass. May he never walk on 2 legs, because that son of a bitch needs to be pouncing and jumping like a cat.
They said that most of his fighting in here is going to be movement like that, though, pouncing and things of that nature.
That looked awesome, and the fact that, I don't know if you took notice, but when he's taking those shots from the helicopter, it's like a little vibranium suit.
Is more vibranium than it's initially led on to be. Or at least even by visual, it's more vibranium than we thought.
So here's my thinking: his armor is stronger than Iron Man's armor.
Yeah,
right off the bat. So that's going to be leading into some, because I'm pretty sure characters are going to be flip-flopping back and forth between their thought patterns, because that's how Civil War is. You had characters really bothered with what's going on, and really bothered with the fact that we need to do this, but should we really be doing this? This is our friends.
I think that can definitely happen, but I think it's not going to be as widespread. I think there will be certain people that are no matter what, they're this ideology or this ideology, and then there are some in the few that are going to be torn between the two, like you're saying. But even with those torn people, I think they'll back out. They'll be like, I want no part of it. Well, I just want to be left alone. And I think there was an interview regarding something like that with just this past week, I think, where they said not all these people are going to last to the end, and they don't mean by all of them some of them are going to die. They just say some of them are going to back away from some of these fights, possibly.
As they should.
Yeah. So some of them might have that ideology just conflict with them so much that they're like, I can't be a part of this no more anymore. This is too much for me to handle. I'm done be perpetuating this violence or perpetuating this circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
Right on the point, man. And his armor looks awesome. His suit was badass.
I felt sorry for him because I remember reading somewhere that it was the most difficult suit to be dealing with.
Yeah.
Because, of course, they filmed that all his scenes in Georgia.
In Georgia.
In 110-degree weather.
Yeah.
So imagine all black, no mouthpiece, completely covered, in Georgia heat. Because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Georgia heat, but that thing is bad. I did boot camp training in the dead of August at Fort Benning. And, yeah, 100 degrees feels like 200. You're just, like, dripping in sweat.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman has a lot to, he has to step to the plate because of that suit, but also because he's the newcomer, one of the newcomer, and he's playing a huge role with Black Panther. Yeah.
And you can tell by the trailer they are going to focus stuff on him because you see him earlier
in the United Nations.
As he's holding on to someone, whether it's his father or his mother, is not sure because I don't remember taking a good look, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be his father, and this is what's going to lead him to don the mantle of the Black Panther because that's how it is. The ruler of Wakanda is the Black Panther.
That's when you mention that. The Russo brothers have said that there are going to be flashbacks in this film, and I'm assuming that UN nation is probably. I don't know for sure, but because it's hard to tell, it could be a flashback of something happening, and maybe his father dies, and then he becomes the ruler of Wakanda, and now he hates the Winter Soldier because maybe that was one of the Winter Soldier's missions from the past, where he blew up this peacekeeping organization, this conference, and now he's out to get him.
I don't know if because they mention, they mention New York, they mention D.C., they mention Scovia. I don't think everything's going to be a flashback. I think the UN attack is something present. I think it's going to be done by Crossbones and Baron Zemo because you forget those are the villains of this picture.
Something else I want
so
too. They haven't even shown them yet.
But this is my point. I think the attack on the UN has to deal with that, and I think it ties into Winter Soldier at one point, whether he's been used by Baron Zemo previous, and that's something that the Black Panther picks up on. Because at this point, we are going to see more about the Winter Soldier's background, but I don't think everything's going to be blamed on him.
No, I know, but I think the Black Panther's going to think, maybe at least for a portion of time, that it was the Winter Soldier's fault.
Well, yeah, but that's because of the constituents who actually did the deed. So he's going to think that he's tied into
whether Winter Soldier did it or not.
Which is a typical superhero thing to mix up. Hey, I know you know them, so you had to have taken part in it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways that can go. A few things that I caught that really caught my attention. We mentioned Scarlet Witch and Vision. We also mentioned the characters. Something that caught my attention that was in the previous trailer and it still gets me both this time as well is Tony Stark. He's they're doing slap fighting with him and Winter Soldier, and he puts the watch and he turns it into the glove, right? And they're doing this like Aikido jiu-jitsu thing, and he pulls the gun on Tony. Tony grabs the gun, and Winter Soldier still fires directly at his face. So,
yeah, but here's the thing, that's nice editing because, to be quite honest, the bullet stays in his hand.
I know. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the fact that Winter Soldier still had the gall or like the nerve to do that. Like,
that's just reaction.
And you see Iron Man's face when it happens. He's like, "Holy cow! This guy is literally ready to kill me."
Yeah.
And like for me, that just the acting in that little moment right there, it's like, holy cow. And then also another part of it is Robert Downey Jr. Great hair.
Why don't you marry him?
Anyway, that's one thing that caught my attention. Another thing caught my attention.
It's a hate crime.
Huh?
What's that?
I can't punch him because then it's a hate crime.
Well, it's not a hate crime because you punch him.
Because he's gay, it's a hate crime.
God. The other thing that caught my attention about the tone of this trailer compared to even compared to the teaser trailer from Super Bowl and then the first trailer. The first trailer was really like this these two brothers that are fighting and they're realizing they're losing their ways with each other and they feel betrayed and one's choosing somebody else over the other. But in this one, it feels like they're really putting Iron Man out there, which he's the antagonist essentially, but he's not a villain. He's the antagonist to the side of Captain, because this is Captain's movie. And so in this film, they really definitely pushed a feeling of, Tony Stark is the guy that's enforcing a lot of the things. Right off the bat, in the first 30 seconds, he goes, and that's why I'm here. Because we need to be checked, and we're going to do it no matter what, and I'm down for which way we're going to do it.
Yeah, but think about it. Tony's the typical corporate guy.
Yeah.
So, not surprised.
No, but that's not even what I'm just referring to. I'm just saying about the trailer, the way that they pose that as showing it as him being this position, the definite conflict between those two, instead of being like two brothers lost. Instead of that, they're showing the conflict. I like that tone of this trailer. Make it a lot more serious, a lot more on the nose about what's really going on, about how brutal this is going to get, and whether somebody's going to die or not.
It plays into the whole freedom of rights. Yeah. Like, Cap's on the side, you should be held accountable for how you present yourself as a hero and just what have you. You don't need to be monitored or checked in. And I like this because this plays it a lot better than anything Bryan Singer tried to do in X-Men. If you want to do a direct comparison, because with the Mutant Registration Act, that never came across fully to fruition in the X-Men films. In here, the Superhero Act, you can tell, creates huge ripples, hence this division. So you can see it takes form, and it's a lot more concrete in these films than it ever has anywhere else. And that's one thing that I took away from it, how much they made it more of a division where, hey, you can't take away somebody's freedoms just because, they're not able to control their powers or what have you. I would love to see what the catalyst for this, because there is going to be a catalyst to this.
Yeah.
Because in the Civil War storyline, what ended up being the catalyst was the school explosion.
Yeah, with
Duke and the New Warriors.
Yeah. And he killed kids and everything.
Well, he was a kid, and it was just a fight with the New Warriors, and they end up losing half their team on top of, the school.
Well,
and that
it's good that they're showing this division and not so. Yeah, there's going to be that part where he said, "I thought I was, you're my brother. He's my brother. So was I," and all that. There's going to be that the feels right there, of course. But overall, this trailer did definitely put out there the conflict between the two, which I loved, and it definitely showed Captain America as being kind of trying to be benevolent about things, especially like when they're showing the replays of New York, Washington D.C. and Sokovia, and when they show Sokovia, you see Scarlet Witch, grimace because it's affecting her because those are her people and all the.
Well, not only that,
he then looks at and he sees this, so it says
but keep in mind, Sokovia also reminds her that's where her brother died.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so says he's being benevolent about this. They're showing him and being benevolent.
Well, I think they're trying to show that he has a little bit more of affection for Scarlet Witch. And I think they're trying to show a little bit of that. Whether it's a big brotherly type affection, we don't know yet. But what I got from there was a lot more than just I'm looking out for my fellow Avenger here.
There could be that.
I didn't get any more than that.
There could be that, but I think it's just the fact that he's a good person and he cares about his teammates, his people that are around him, that he cares for life. He puts his life on the line for them. And so he saw that she's hurting because of this, is reminding her, okay, my brother died, my country died, and we... Huh?
Friends and family.
Yeah, and so I think that he saw her grimace and she saw the pain, so he's saying turn it off. They're showing Captain America in this trailer as being benevolent, and Iron Man as being the the fist that's going to stop all this joking around. Yeah.
He's and
that's
They made him look like a dick, which I get, because he was the bad guy in the comics.
Well, technically, they weren't either bad guys. It was like,
out of two, they made him the bad guy.
Well, it's more like, okay, we have conflicting ideals. I believe in, all life is greater, and you and someone else has the belief where women should choose whether they have that, along that lines. And yeah, both ideals are fine and they're good with their own merits, but at the same time, whose ideals are they going to? This is each guy trying to push their ideals as the main one. You know what I mean? And sooner or later, that's going to butt heads.
Yeah.
Because, hey, no, I'm right on this. No, you're wrong on this. I'm right on this. This is basically what it is.
And the trailer did a good job of having Captain America be the benevolent one and Iron Man being the dick.
If you go back and look at it, they did a lot of sneaky editing, because there's a scene where
there's a lot of editing in this thing.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I said, because there's a scene where Cap is in normal clothes and he's in his uniform and he's in this like sort of kitchen with wallpaper and what have you, and it's right before a scene where Tony says something.
He gets backhanded by Tony.
But the point is that doesn't even take place in the same area.
Yeah.
Because that looks like it's like in Aunt May's kitchen or something. Like this is the first time we see.
Or Aunt May's.
Yeah, something along that lines. Because Aunt May is in this picture.
I think the big thing to take from, if you really want to go into this trailer and dig into it a little bit more, a couple things to look at is one is Iron Man's black eye. To look for that. He also has his arm in a sling at one point in the film. So those are two things right there for Iron Man to look at. Another part is they show when Cap, and this is a cool thing, they do a little throwback to Captain America, the first Avenger, where he's like, I could do this all day. And they did a throwback to that. Right there when he does that, he not only has blood right here from his lip and his chin, he also has it profusely, like right here on the side of his head by his temple. And then they start showing them fighting again, and when they're fighting him and Iron Man individual 101 mano a mano, he doesn't have it up here by his temple again. So they did an edit where they went back and some footages before he said I could do this all day. There's a lot of editing here where they're trying to, I don't know if it's they're literally trying to make you think certain things and trick you so they don't give too much away, because there's a lot of stuff like they show Bucky with the gun right when they go set up like that. They show the yellow light hit Rhodey's arc reactor.
Yeah, they were trying to make it seem like he took that shot.
But it wasn't, because that's not coming from a military grade weapon. That's
right. It's a laser shot.
It's like a pulse or it's a laser. So there's all kinds of things that. A couple other things caught my attention. First of all, it's a cover from I forget which one.
Avengers 122.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, where Ant-Man is on Hawkeye's arrow, so they reproduced that in there, which is really cool. I liked that a lot.
Loved seeing Ant-Man, and the fact that you see him going from, first of all, when he starts off big when he's running with because when you first saw them running in the earlier trailer, you don't catch Ant-Man at first. It was a later part of that scene, and in this trailer you see him running with everybody before they. Yeah, full size, and then when he hops, he turns real small, and goes who knows where.
Yeah, I wonder if that was one of those things where they chose to
hide him
to keep us guessing.
Yeah.
There's another thing that's really before we go on to the last part that really caught my attention, and it's at the airport scene. It's right around the time when Rhodey gets hit by that blast. Everything's going on, but both sides, there's explosions that start happening. Both sides start like looking and running away from explosions that seem to be caused by somebody, but they don't really show who. And it seems like both sides are reacting to them in the same, like, what the heck's going on. So I'm wondering if maybe that's a tell to when Baron Zemo is starting to come around with whoever else he has in his right pocket.
Earlier in the trailer, you do see Crossbones with those soldiers when Black Widow's doing the flip and she's got one guy in the head scissors.
The only thing about that, though, that's at a different building, not an airport.
Well, but the thing is, whether that's the UN part of things, because it's not really established where that's happening, those soldiers are better than Zemo's men. That's for sure. Because if you look back at that one scene, when she's in front of the truck is open, you see Crossbones in the back of that truck walking out. Yeah. He's this huge hunkering piece of armor, and why he looks like that, I'm appalled. Because whether I do love the face mask for Crossbone, I don't like the metal fist and everything else, because that's not Crossbones to me. I understand it, but
he's wearing power fists.
Yeah, like hello Fallout.
Yeah. So there was that, and then so at that point, I think those are kind of some tells about the villains kind of showing up. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. There was one other thing I wanted to mention that we haven't mentioned before the last thing. What was that? It just slipped my mind.
How Eddie doesn't want to make notice to this trailer either.
The fact that Eddie's not here, even though it's a trailer, it's something free for 2.5 minutes of his day. I haven't watched it. That really sucks.
What do you think, Brendan?
Because I'm not going to ask his opinion on any friggin' movie trailer, because I don't want to see it. I want to wait until it's on TV.
For free! When you pay monthly.
Oh, shit. What was that last
What did you have? Oh, was it how Hot Vision was? 'Cause he looked pretty hot.
No.
You just like a man on his knees, don't you?
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Cock meat sandwich.
I did like Black Panther's suit when that explosion happened. He was wearing a nice suit.
Really?
Yeah, it was a nice. He was wearing a bomb ass suit, so I don't know if he was like at a business meeting or what. It was a bomb ass suit.
You're talking about when they show him at the UN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was at the UN explosion.
Yeah.
At least they're portraying it as it was there, and I'm assuming that it is. I'm assuming that's the cause of him becoming now the king and the Black Panther.
Okay.
So, question for the both of you. Team Cap or Team Iron Man, where would your ideals fall? Would you be on the side of having the superheroes being regulated by the government, or would you feel that they deserve to have their free rights over something that technically is in their control as long as they're using it for positive...
Qualifier. Am I a superhero or a civilian in that universe?
Well, no, you got to put yourself in your situation. So if you're someone who's in hands, in other words, with powers, would you be on Cap's way of thought, or would you be on Iron Man's way of thought?
I'd be on Cap's side.
Sean? And why?
Because I look at it in the aspect of should they regulate themselves? To a degree, yes. Should I think that the government should have every single power they have, where they're at all times, tell them where to go? No.
Or who they are?
Who their identity is. The reason being, that shit can be hacked real easy. Those people have powers. They could get into wherever they're stored, find out who they are, kill their friends, kill their family, blow up their entire town just to get to them. The less they know, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and Sean?
Yeah,
Oh wait, you got more?
If they need to granted, they need to regulate themselves. They need to have some sort of committee or something. But I would say you have to be willing to. If you get out of check, you got to be like, they're gonna come back.
Okay.
You have to understand.
I got to pay the consequences.
Yep.
Sean, what's your way of thought?
It's tough. I lean towards Cap. I lean towards Cap's side.
No, you pick one, you son of a bitch.
I've fallen. I've fallen over the fence to Cap's side, but I do agree with the whole regulation part of regulating ourselves, of our teammates regulating ourselves and putting us in check. If I am somebody like Cap and Tony Stark goes over there and creates Ultron again, it's like, okay, dude, you didn't learn the first time. But at the same time, there are certain things that you can't stop. You start to learn, you grow from, and you just to advance society, like the Ultron thing. So some of these things are inevitable, and aliens and stuff like that. The whole New York thing.
No, that was. See, here's the thing.
Like they should not be held responsible for the alien thing in New York.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Because of aliens, Tony Stark took his fear because of his almost death, because that's all he is. The whole point is this is based on his fear. And he decided, oh, well, I'm going to do something about, securing the world. But the point is, he didn't put into his mind, it was like, no one asked me to do this. I should have been told, hey, I need there has to be a ceiling where I gotta hit.
Okay.
And he figures, no, I'm above that.
Let me give you an example of something kind of like that. That just because you mean well, even though you hurt somebody, doesn't mean that you're okay and you're absolved of what you did because you meant well. I was just watching. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm going to this. I'm sorry. I was watching an episode of Pokemon. It was the one where they went to the island with Kabuto, right? And the dude's like freaking throwing boulders at him to almost kill them. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to save you. You're just trying to save me. You just almost killed me."
You know what's going on here, right? You know what's going on here. You guys are doing. You're both do this when like pre-Fallout before the release. That's all that would come out your mouths. Now we're talking about the Civil War trailer, and somehow, some way, one of you has to bring Pokemon into this.
Don't hold me into that shit. That was him.
But you've done it. When you do it, I like it because I know you're doing it to get somebody on their nerves. So that's understandable. But you got him feeding himself Pokemon lines.
Okay, I do also have a qualifier of another reason why I'm on Cap's side. Because if you look at Tony Stark, if he's got all that money, he's got all his fingers in government stuff, and he still has
contract,
his power. So are they gonna fuck with him? No, they're not. But somebody like, I don't know, say Scarlet Witch, where they're just like, she's a fucking freak. If they want to, they'll lock her ass up.
Or even Spidey.
Or Spider-Man. Somebody
15-year-old kid
doesn't have that influence, and they say, you know what? Yeah, you have powers and you helped us, but you know what? You're a danger now, so we're gonna lock you up in a cell.
Yeah.
Are they gonna look up Iron Man? Hell no.
Yeah, they need to regulate themselves, and I would be on Cap's side. But we would have to regulate ourselves. We'd have to keep each other in check. Just because we mean well, but we kill somebody not like I said, like if we do something and we kill somebody, just because I meant well doesn't mean I'm absolved from that. Because
now if we go into the whole death and what have you, if it's an accidental death in the process of saving thousands or millions, does that absolve said hero, considering it's an accidental? Because granted, their first priority is, and I'm going to use Cap's way of thinking, your first priority is to get everybody else, civilian-wise, off of whatever danger that's going on. In that process, whether it's a soldier or what have you, someone accidentally dies on their watch. They shouldn't be held accountable for that.
That's not what I mean. I don't think, like in that case, Captain America didn't lift up the rock. He went onto the rock to take people off. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he's at fault for that at all. And I would say that's what I mean. Like I'm on his side. But like if I'm doing something myself and I start something like building Ultron because I'm trying to do good to protect the country, the world, there's some repercussions that should come with that. Like even though it was an accident and you meant good, doesn't mean you're absolved from what you did. So now, like Brenda said, there definitely has to be caveats to it. You have to definitely regulate yourself. I would not want everybody to have all my business in the government, but then they're checking me, but I can't check them. It doesn't make sense. What about you, Lynn?
What? I'm team Cap all the way. Yeah. Because I feel like if for one thing, I wasn't asked for whatever powers are given. So it's my responsibility to learn how to use them to the best of my ability. But at the same time, in that process, I shouldn't be held accountable for something that I may not have control of fully. Until I am shown as being negligent with said powers. Then you can say I am whatever. You could throw me away and lock up the key.
I think that's a good word.
That doesn't. Yeah. So that doesn't mean that I should have, like in this, where the government wants to know who you are, what power you have, and you should be checked and monitored every single minute of the day on when you use your power or how you use your powers. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've always been Team Cap on that ideal because you're restricting people, you're prejudging people based on something that hasn't happened yet.
It's setting everything up for failure. It's like a lot of other things that are happening in real life, IRL. It's just like it's stuff that we see every day, and it doesn't turn out for the best. It's not going to work out.
Let's get into the the that made us go squeal.
Before we jump into
I
that,
want to talk about Spider-Man.
Is there anything else that we've forgotten? Like, just real quick, is there anything else that we've
talk about Spider-Man.
Hold on,
brother.
brother.
Thing that I was thinking about and it totally slipped my mind.
I do have one thing. Did you notice that in the one place, I don't know if it's a prison or what have you, there's these tanks with people inside them?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, okay. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
There is one thing that the last one, before we talk about the big drop, when they're fighting Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Iron Man, they do have some other tanks that might be cryo freeze tanks. We don't know what they could be. In suspended animation, we don't know. And they look like they have people's bodies in them. And those look interesting, and I wonder what those are. Have you guys any thoughts on those tanks?
I'm curious to see if they're probably future people that we plan on seeing in later films or what have you, or if it's a lead-in to maybe something with the Inhumans or what have you, because sooner or later you are going to have to come around and get to the Inhumans, to tie them into this universe. Or because we know that since both Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were enhanced, maybe these are more people from Strucker that were possibility of being enhanced. So it's twofold. I've read other places where it said, well, maybe Dr. Banner's in one of those. I don't think that's the case. I expect to see him in Ragnarok. I really expect to see either Banner or Hulk in Ragnarok.
Well, no, he is in it. He is in Ragnarok. It's a buddy cop.
But my point, I don't think it's a buddy cop film.
It's not, but they're both in it.
Ragnarok means the end of the world. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, but the Hulk is in Ragnarok.
So yeah, but what I'm saying, I don't think at this point in time when Civil War's happening, Thor's already at Asgard. He's going through whatever. So there's not going to be any really big mention of him or what have you. I think it'll be a snip. What?
Be Quicksilver in one of them? They grabbed his body?
That's what I was going to say. If
I don't know. So you think they would actually pull the whole regeneration thing?
Yeah.
To bring back heroes?
Tahiti?
Yeah, Tahiti.
See, but Tahiti was explained, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What if Doctor Strange brings them back? I don't know.
It could just be something like a one-off, like it could be just random people, random Inhumans, or random people, just like in Guardians of the Galaxy. We don't know for sure if it was a one-off in Guardians of the Galaxy, but they showed the cocoon, which in the collector's base, which is Michael, what's his name? He's one of the most powerful beings there is, and so we don't. Huh?
Nothing.
Oh.
I said you.
Ooh, Thanos.
Huh?
Thanos?
No. Oh shoot, what's his name? Michael something or other. But he was supposed to be in the cocoon. It's part of the Guardians in the Collector's base. So that could, like I'm saying, it could be something like that where it's there for us to look at and see. But maybe they explain it, maybe they don't. We will never know. Hopefully, we find out. Is what I'm saying. Is it could be a one-off. It could be nothing.
Yeah, because after Civil War, we lead into what?
November is Strange.
So we know that Strange is, even if it has a snippet of something, because one thing that has to worry, and I think Sony has to pull it off the tails of Civil War, the Spider-Man film should show repercussions of what happened in Civil War. Because, however, since this will be the lead-in to Spidey, however Spidey joins whatever team he's on, there are huge ramifications for him doing so. Because in the comics, when he does expose himself to the world in who he is, when he reveals his identity to the world as being Peter Parker, he regrets that. And he was towing the line with Tony Stark, and he has to go back and basically switch sides. This is what goes back to what I was saying earlier, that not everybody on the team will be 100% behind their ideals.
Didn't they say they were going to make an origin movie, though, for Spider-Man?
They don't need a freaking origin film. We've already had 2 origin films in the last 15 years.
I know they don't, but didn't they say they were going to?
God, I hope not.
I honestly can't remember what they specifically said about the Spider-Man movie, if it's an origin or not. I know that a lot of times they've said that they don't want to do a lot of origin movies anymore, and if they are going to do origin movies, they want to do it in very creative ways that are not like the stereotypical superhero origin movie.
Because to be realistic, the reboot with Garfield was a disaster of an origin film.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of which, let's jump into the last point in this trailer. They showed us Spider-Man. And I think, same as me, same as you guys, I don't know, I was, oh my god, like mouth drop, what the, that's awesome kind of like expletives coming out of my mouth. And I was blown away. I was really happy about that. You know, especially the callback to the older stuff with Underoo, calling him Underoos. And the way he looks in general, you guys, he looks like classic Spider-Man to me, like classic Spider-Man.
I can't agree with you there.
I like it. I think
what I love. Don't get me wrong. I loved seeing Spidey at the end of this trailer. I loved it. Loved the old Gil Kane look to the Spidey mask with the small eyes and what have you. Something that none of the Spidey films has been able to pull off, because it's sort of along the lines of what they did with Deadpool.
Yeah, they if you listen to it though, his eyes are worrying when he. Yeah. So a lot of people, as well,
he should.
I thought is that it's Tony Stark that helps him build certain things about his suit, like his maybe he helps him with his web blasters, which are physical things now.
If he does that,
well,
you take away from Spidey.
That's the comment.
You gotta no. You got something. You got a 15-year-old kid who is a scientific genius, so they should leave that alone. If they can put, they should leave that alone.
I don't know though. What I'm saying.
Hold on. If they want to keep it where you say that the only reason why Spidey joins Iron Man's side is because he helps him out with something. I want to think that he helps him out in some type of funding for his school along that lines, because he sees the intelligence that is in Peter Parker, and at the same time he's trying to get something from Parker for doing something. I can see that aspect, because that is the Tony Stark personality right there. Hey, I'm going to take care of this kid because I'm going to get something out of him. It's like when they were creating the Vision. He didn't want to take responsibility for it. He was like, no, Banner, you're going to bring this guy to life. So I'm thinking they're going to do something along that lines, and that's why Spidey's on Iron Man's side of things. You know, to have him say, oh, look, here, kid, I made you some web blasters. That's cheesy. That's hokey.
I guarantee you, he made his suit.
I
could see something, but then again,
it's the eyes.
That's what I was saying, but you did cut me off, dude. You gotta let me talk. Is that Tony Stark is taking him under his wing. He understands what he can do to help him out. He helps him with the eyes. Maybe, I said maybe. It does, just because you say should, because it happens in the comics that he creates himself, doesn't mean that it's going to, no matter what, turn out that way in the movies. It can always be different. And we've argued about this before, and because it's not 100% guaranteed. He could have helped him with the suit. He could have helped him with the web shooters. He could have helped him with the eyes. There could have been so many things that he just took him under his wing and helped him with, that now it's like, you know what? He's a good guy. I like what he stands for, and I'm going to help him out. And he's maybe cut me a deal that I'm going to remain a kid, and I'm not going to get tangled up into this with my personal identity, and so on and so forth.
Scratch right there, because if he's on Iron Man's side, that means he believes on exposing his personal identity to the world. Keep in mind that Cap's trying to keep that side hidden. So
I think you missed what I said. I said maybe he scratches him a deal, cuts him a deal.
No. That can't happen, because Spidey's a...
Why can't it happen? It can happen. We haven't seen the...
Why do you think they put Spidey in the film? He's a key factor in the Civil War storyline in general, as being the kid that gets pulled in one ideal, and because he makes the mistake in going with that ideal, switches over to the other side. So, and the key thing is since he has to reveal himself to the world.
But again, I think you're mixing up with what I'm saying. I'm just saying why he's over there in the first place. Did I say anything else, Brendan, other than what I'm saying? Is that different from what I said? I said that this is why he probably is over there. He's taking him under his wing. He helps him with some tech with his suit, and he's helped him get to that point. Now, whatever happens after that could possibly be exactly from the comics.
Brandon, go ahead.
I got it. Tony goes to Peter's science fair, sees something badass that he likes, says, "Hey, come work for me. I'll help you out." Okay.
I can see that.
And then he finds out through whatever way he's Spider-Man. Because I think what they'll do is like back in the day where Spider-Man operated it, like, you know, he made his own suit. It looked like shit, and then he ends up designing it. Instead of him designing it, Tony's like, "Holy shit, you have powers. I'll make you a suit." He makes the suit. He joins his team. He says, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker." Something from Crossbones, somebody goes after somebody's family, gets them killed, and then he's like, "What the fuck was I thinking? I'm going to Capside."
Yeah.
Bam! I just gave you 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, and that's all plausible. It's all up in the air. None of us.
His eyes are they created that way so he can see the web better, so he can see it. You know.
That's what I was assuming. I was assuming that it could.
Because it looked machine-like. It was like, and like in my head, I hear the.
No, it actually made a sound.
It did?
I don't know. I don't think it does. I think they were just finally. I think that's just a special effects, thanks to the works of like Deadpool, where you actually can see expression in the mask. I think we're reading way too much into it because it's not like he's. Because I don't think it's like the Iron Spider suit that Tony does make for him in the comics. I don't think it's along that lines.
I don't think so.
The Iron Spider.
I'm going to say this. I think you guys both need to watch that little part and listen. There's a whirring sound right when the eyes go down. There's a whirring sound. His eyes are moving.
Regardless of whether there's a whirring sound or not, I don't think they would do that because that makes it very cartoony, very animated. If you're going that, she's just expressing himself because they are grounded in whatever their reality is. Their powers, they're not. They're
not breaking the fourth wall.
The gems are.
Well, hold on. The mask showing expression does not break the fourth wall. Let's take Watchmen.
The fourth wall is,
I'm talking about what Sean just said.
I use that as an example. I used breaking the fourth wall as an example to show you what the reality is in Deadpool is way different from the reality of this film.
Okay, Watchmen.
No, but that's different. That's different.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, what's the reality?
Rorschach's mask is supposed to show his thoughts and emotions and what's going on inside his head. Hence why it's always changing.
Okay, and that's the reality of the Watchmen.
Yeah, which is based on the reality of 1980s, government. So you're telling me that it's okay for a dark movie like Watchmen to have expression going through the...
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the reality of Watchmen, that reality of Watchmen is completely different because it's not the MCU. This MCU has its own reality. Deadpool has its own reality. The fact that Deadpool's emoting with his eyes is different from the reality of MCU. MCU, Spider-Man's eyes emoting is not going to fit into that reality.
We're talking about reality, and you're quote-unquote breaking the fourth wall.
No, I think you're trying to twist my words right now, Berlin. Look at I'm saying...
Let me get my point across. You said, okay, reality, and then breaking the fourth wall. Just using those two aspects that you brought up, okay? You're telling me Spider-Man cannot show expressions through his mask for no reason whatsoever because of your grip on reality of the Marvel Universe. But yet it's okay because where Watchmen is based in a reality of mid-'80s government, Rorschach's face, which is about showing his expression and emotions, that's not based in reality either.
No, what you're doing is you're picking words out of the sentences I said. The reality of the Watchmen is the reality of the Watchmen. If that happens in the Watchmen, that's happening in the Watchmen. No.
Which is grounded in reality.
Yeah, that reality of the Watchmen. Okay, the reality of the MCU is the reality of the MCU. Whatever that is, it's what they're calling is reality. When Spider-Man's eyes move, there's a whirring sound. I'm just saying, like Brendan's saying, I don't think it's for emoting. I think it had to do with some tech that got built either by Spider-Man or got helped by Tony Stark. He took him under his wing or something.
And I'm sure that's exactly what he thought of doing. Hey, can you make my eyes move?
No, that's just part of the suit. My reason, the whole point I'm making is that his mask, if it was just a mask, would not do that. He would not be able. If he squinted his eyes, you wouldn't see shit. He's using that like he's going into attack mode. He's getting ready, time to fight, focus. That is not him showing expression. That's him getting ready to fight. That's the suit itself getting into battle mode because it was made by Tony Stark.
So you're basing that's what you're going off of. So every panel, every caricature that's drawn of Spider-Man showing emotions, whether it's spider sense or in danger or what have you, that shows expressiveness.
You can't pull.
No, but that's the Marvel comic. It's reality.
Yes.
That's its reality, which is what the basis is for the cinematic universe, right?
Okay.
That's still the
I think
basis.
you got to separate the two.
Again.
Oh, now we got to separate.
We are separating it because they are different. The comic universe is not the same as the cinematic. That's why they call it the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the comics, yes, that's how they show emotion.
Yes.
That's how they show it. That would not happen in the movie universe. The suits, unless they're some sort, they don't need that to show expression. They have they have the voice, they have the actor. That suit would not do that unless it was designed to do so. Because let's just say, like Cap's mask. If you put you put the white eyes over Cap's masks, and he wanted to show emotion, if they shrunk, it would not be because he's showing emotion like in the comics. It would be that is designed to do that.
Okay, see,
it's
we'll,
wearing a mask.
All right.
Cloth in that universe. Cloth is cloth.
Let's use the Black Panther's mask in direct opposition to Spider-Man's mask. Black Panther's mask does not budge. It's a solid piece. So, of course, I don't expect it to show emotion because it's already got features that he's a black cat, and that's it. On the opposite side of the spectrum, I have a young kid who's bright-eyed, wide-eyed, with a cloth costume. Your cheekbones and what have you are going to move underneath the mask. Your nose, the bridge of your nose is going to move.
Not arguing that.
So that should still be able to show within this general area. Whether not as expressive as they were in the trailer, yes, but it would still move because cloth does move at any little movement of the body.
In that aspect, yes, but it's moving way more. If I will say this, if they were doing it for expression, then they killed that universe because they took something, they put a comic thing into what their realistic universe. That's literally a comic thing.
So here's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to put a bet on it. Everybody that's watching is gonna have to remember who says what. Lynn is on the side of emotion.
Hold on.
Brendan and I are both on mechanical side of things to help eyesight. Everybody take track of that. We're gonna have a bet. Somebody's gonna buy somebody a burger. Somebody's gonna buy somebody a burger.
When he squints, there's like a spider web sound that goes on. Like when because I just looked at it and I heard the sound
that I was telling you about the whirring.
It sounds like a web noise. It doesn't sound like when he does this spurt of the.
Okay, no backing out of anything right now. Somebody's buying somebody a burger at GameStop Expo because of this topic. Well, we're gonna find out, huh?
I'm buying me a burger.
Well, I'm gonna buy me a burger, but somebody's buying somebody a burger. So,
I'm buying
on May 8th. I want to
listen to it now too. I want to listen to it now too. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have it.
No, that you can see it. You can see it. It's like they're slatted. Look at close. That's it moving.
Like
it's literally
layers, right?
Yes, it's slatted. It's like a I don't want to say like a
camera lens.
Yeah, like a camera lens. It looks. I can see. Boom! It's mechanical. Suck it.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Okay, hold on. You said like a camera lens, right? Right? Peter Parker is what?
You are not going to try to turn this to say that I'm wrong.
No. I'm just saying, if they downplay his intelligence, that he can't think of something, considering that not only is he a whiz kid scientist, but he's a photographer at hand, and that this may be the way he uses.
I think you just lended credence to what we're saying about it being a camera.
I'm saying that if it's created, it's not by Iron Man. Point blank. This suit is not an Iron Man creation. Point blank. That's what I'm stating. And I stand by it. Tony Stark did not create this suit. And if they do that, then they totally fuck up Spider-Man.
What if they designed it together?
Yeah. What if he helps him? He just takes him under his wing and helps him out.
That's the whole point. He says, hey, come hang out with me. I'll help you build your suit. He helps you. Okay.
Okay. The reason why I say this is because at some point, Steve and Tony are looking for heroes for whatever reason, okay? Whether it's to fill their ranks or what have you, because we see that shot of maybe Captain America at Aunt May's or what have you. So these two gentlemen definitely know Peter's around, definitely know what he is. It's not just Tony who knows, okay? So whatever happens, that whether he gets shied away with money for a grant, which is what I typically expect to happen, or, hey, I'll give you a job, but I don't think it's, hey, look, I'll make you a suit.
So here's what's going to happen.
I have a question, real quick. Spider-Man's brains, Tony Stark's money, and lab. Would they ruin Spider-Man if he did that?
Remember when he tells Bruce Banner, "You come to our R&D section."
Yeah. So
this goes back to what I was saying, that Tony Stark has nothing to do with the creation of the suit.
I think
where Peter does it doesn't matter. If he does it in R&D, that's fine, but it has to come from his head and not something that Tony said, "Hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" Like he's got it. He doesn't need to be baby step and coddled the whole way into the creation of his own suit, because he's supposed to be established already in this universe, is my point. So he should already have the suit pre-Tony's talking to him.
What if it's not a great suit and he just helps him make it better?
Hey, God, I hope I'm out of there.
Alright, so here's what's gonna happen.
That would be okay.
That would go back to me saying that it should look, even though it's not supposed to, it should look like the Iron Spider suit that Tony does make for him in the comics. It should have that design where the spider is more elongated and goes through.
Maybe they're waiting for that part later on. Maybe that's for the next movie. So I want everybody to remember this. We have this recorded for perpetuity, and we're gonna come back to this on May 18th.
Already right. We're already right.
Well, I know, but this is not for us, Brandon.
No, I'm not, and like I said, it's not right until it's set in stone, until you hear Tony says, "I'll make a suit for you." First of all, like I said, it completely disavows anything of Spider-Man having any sense of intelligence of his own. It also disavows the fact that he was an established character already in said universe. So that totally negates all that.
I disagree.
Alright, so again, it's in perpetuity. We're going to come back to this May 18th. We're going to look at what our opinions were, and we're going to decide who's right, who's wrong, and who owes somebody a burger at the New Stuff Expo. So for today, I guess you guys can say, I want to know if you guys are working on anything right now to put up on the site, the YouTube, or whatever, the Twitch, and where we can reach you guys at. Brendan?
Huh? You spoke really fast, man.
Brendan, so, are you working on anything for the Twitch channel, the YouTube channel, and where can we find you at?
I'm writing my review for The Division.
Nice.
Working on that right now. I'm waiting for you to come up and show me how to do all that stuff.
I'll be there this weekend. I don't know if I'll have time, but I'll see what I can do.
And you can find me at Twitter or on our YouTube page.
I gave you the info for the Twitch, right?
No.
Sean, you still have it?
Yeah, I got it. I'll send it to you. We'll figure that out. But you're on Twitter? What were you saying?
Overseer Vault 69 and our pages.
And Lynn, where can we find you, and what are you working on right now, buddy?
Everything AKA Geeks. Right now I'm editing Tuesday's podcast so I can get it up, and then I got to edit this, and I also have to do an unboxing of the Ghostbusters 7-inch, which I gave you which I gave you a sneak peek
Oh, nice,
of.
nice. I look forward to that. We have
See that?
we have Eddie. We have Eddie in the background. He's on the bench right now. Someone put him on the injured reserve. You guys can find him on PlayStation. No, not PlayStation. Xbox One under Eddie Thorson. Capital E on the first name, but lowercase t on the last name.
And he also just put out a quote unquote unboxing of the latest DC Funko box.
So check out what he's doing. I gotta get to episode 4 of Tales from the Borderland. Doing a little Twitch stuff with the Division as much as I can with you guys when we get on there, which hopefully we'll do some tonight. Seeing that it's Friday, and we can have some fun with that. And you guys catch me up on all the social media as well: Twitter, Caliman Swish, Xbox Live, Swish187, and PlayStation Network, SwishRock. And so, you guys remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions, and what we could do better. And let us know where you stand on the issues that we disagreed upon in the comment section down below. And we appreciate you guys.
Cap or you Team Iron Man?
What's up, Team Iron Man? Yeah.
Just put hashtag Team Cap, Team Iron Man.
Let's get a count on that. Team Cap or Team Iron Man. You guys let us know in the comment section down below. And for us, you guys, this is AKA Geeks. I'm Sean, and we'll see you guys next time.
Catch you on the dark side.
AKA Geeks.